Well, the staff has a week before any volunteers arrive.
But during setup week, we go through as many applications as we can. Most counties receive anywhere from 100 to a couple hundred applications. And we visit as many of these homes as we can.
And so you meet the family, they show you some of the work that needs to be done, and then you sort of get a feel for whether or not it'd be a good project. And then every night after you do that for that first week, you talk about it with the rest of your staff. And you sort of decide who you think would be the best projects. We take into account what the financial need of the family is, what their ability might be to help themselves out, and also we make sure that it's a safe environment and a friendly environment for volunteers, and that it's a project that volunteers and the staff will be able to handle. We tend to avoid projects that are just too big, and occasionally that is the case, but typically there's most projects that we can handle. So the amount of money that we have to spend is sort of a cumulative thing. When you divide it all out, it comes to $460 per home, but that's not actually necessarily how much we spend on each project. We do projects, some that are cheaper, like retaining walls or drainage ditches, which involve a lot of digging and not that much supplies, are sort of our cheaper ones. And then when we do roofs, it's more expensive projects that that you go through supplies really quickly, and it's kind of just more expensive things. We do a lot of inside work, finishing, drywall and painting, stuff like that, and floors. Those tend to be some of the things that we can afford. A little bit of siding, but that can get pretty expensive depending on what you're using. One of the big things that staffs look for when they're picking out projects is safe second exits, because it's an easy project for volunteers to do, to pick a porch or a door that you can just fix and maybe put a set of steps down from the porch, or build a new porch out a back door of a trailer where there isn't one, just so that in the event of a fire, the family can get out easily. We also do, fairly often we do wheelchair ramps for people that are handicapped and need a better way to get out of their homes. Each work crew will receive a family file that has a lot of instructions on how to do the project.
It also contains pink sheets, which are what the group leaders turn into the staff every night when we collect them, preferably around dinner time. So we'll have it for the staff meeting. The pink sheet is basically a hardware list for them for the next day, so we have an idea about what they've been doing and what they'll be doing for the next day and what they'll be needing for that.
My favorite thing is the green sheets, which are sheets that the team before you fills out. So it's what they accomplished during the week, what things are left at the work site, what materials, so it really helps you to know what you need to order or what to bring with you. It also gives you some information about your family, so you can kind of get an idea what your family's like before you even come.
It contains all the important information as far as emergency information for hospitals and that sort of thing, directions to different places they'll need to go during the week, directions to their home, and also the application of the family that they're working on. And that's why it's kind of a sensitive item to not leave around different places, because you don't want people to be looking at applications that families put in.
They all have these code names so that you're not using the family's name in the community or even at their work site. Like this year is all 90s TV shows.
On Sunday you go out with the group leader, and that is what you talk about. You talk about the project they'll be doing and how it's going to be different from projects they may have done or may not have done in the past. You'll explain things that are still not quite clear to them in terms of how to do projects. You'll go over everything from what they're going to need to how to do things. Really, it sort of varies depending on the experience of that group leader. Sometimes they know you take them out to a site and they've done that project before and they know what to do and they know what kind of problems they might run into, and they'll know how to handle them. And then sometimes you'll have to walk through with them step by step everything that you're going to have to do, which is fine. That's part of our job, and we like to do it. But we're really just there to provide as much support as is needed. When you get a project, you have instructions that come directly from the staff for it, as well as the construction manual that you can use.
The construction manual is given to all the crews by ASP to basically let you know exactly how things are to be done on ASP according to the standards that ASP holds. It's a very good reference when you're doing a job. If you run into a problem, it's the place you should look first.
Basically, it has step-by-step instructions for pretty much building a house from the ground up.
From roofing to foundation work, walls, plumbing, just pretty much everything, anything you could think of.
Because we are working on older homes and working on with the supplies that we can get from whatever hardware store we're using. And so there's a lot of, kind of tricky situations, but we work through it, and we sort of apply our own little, when you get a project, you have instructions that come directly from the staff for it, as well as the construction manual that you can use. So even if it's not, textbook, like it's not like it, just like the picture in the construction manual, you have a picture that a staff will have drawn for you of what it is like and how you're going to go about fixing some of those problems.